Hello friends, I am Professor D. Trivedi going to teach you another chapter related with the digital electronics. This is the chapter related with the design of synchronous and asynchronous sequential logic circuits. This chapter is very important as far as design is going to be concerned. In this chapter, there are two parts. Part A is related with the design of synchronous sequential logic circuit. Part B is related with the design of asynchronous sequential logic circuit. In your syllabus, it is only part A, that is design of synchronous sequential logic circuit that you are going to study. Design of asynchronous sequential logic circuit that you are going to study in a further study in a higher studies. Okay, objective of our study is this: state machine design using Moore model and Mealy model. So we are going to study this sequential detection circuit using two different models. Using Moore model, Moore was one of the scientists, and another one is the Mealy model. So these are the two different approach for designing state machine design. State transition diagram and preparation of state synthesis table. So to go through this one, you have to understand state transition diagram. That is, you have already learned actually in the SY that in a flip-flop, outputs depends upon the inputs. That way, we have prepared a state transition diagram for different type of the flip-flops: JK flip-flop, D flip-flop, T flip-flop, and RS flip-flop using a excitation table. Then derivation of design equation from state synthesis table. So after state transition diagram, you have to prepare a state synthesis table, and from the state synthesis table, you can derive a design equation, that is logic equation, Boolean equation using a Carnot map. And from that Boolean equations, you can prepare a circuit, or circuit implementation can be prepared using flip-flop based approach. You are going to study here only with the flip-flop based approach. There are two ways actually using a flip-flop based approach, as well as there is a ROM based approach also there. So circuit can be designed using read-only memory based approach also, but here in your syllabus, it is limited to the flip-flop based approach. Remember, design problem normally start with a word description of input-output relation and end with a circuit diagram having sequential and combinational logic elements. What does it mean? Whatever requirement is there, that requirement is given in a word description of input-output relations. So what is the output is required corresponding to different combination of the input, that is given in a word description, and this can be completed using circuit diagram, which can be which can have two things, either combinational logic circuits or and sequential logic circuits. So it can have sequential logic circuits, that means flip-flop, counter, shift register, etc., etc. That is sequential logic circuits, as well as combinational logic circuit, that is the basic logic gates, universal logic gates, exclusive OR gate, NOR gate, etc., and multiplexer, etc., decoders, encoder, etc., which comes to combinational logic circuit. So using all these things, you can prepare a circuit diagram from circuit description. The word description is first converted. Now the methodology is given. So study this methodology. The word description is first converted to state transition diagram or algorithm state machine ASM chart, followed by preparation of state synthesis table. So first step of circuit design is this: you are given input output relations. So using that input out relations and the characteristic of combinational logic circuit and flip-flops, you can prepare a state transition diagram. State transition diagram means the output of the circuit reside into certain state. Then on every clock pulse, the content of the state is advanced to next state. Now, using the inputs as well as the clock pulse, it will jump from one state to the another state. That is called transition from one state to the other state, and that kind of diagram is known as a state transition diagram. So, the word description is first converted to state transition diagram, or which is also known as a algorithmic state machine ASM chart, which is followed by preparation of state synthesis table. So, from the state transition diagram, you have to prepare a state table, which is also known as the state synthesis table. That means it is in an initial state. From this state, it will jump to the next state. And for that, what are the inputs are required for each flip-flop? This kind of table is known as a state synthesis table. That also we are going to prepare from state transition diagram. For flip-flop based implementation, excitation tables are used to generate a design equation through the Carnot map. So, if we are designing or preparing a circuit using the flip-flops, then for a flip-flop, you need to know about the inputs, and that can be generated from state synthesis table. So, in a state synthesis table, you require what are the inputs of the flip-flops are required when it makes a transition from the previous state or present state to the next state. That means Qn to Qn plus 1. When it makes a transition, what is the J and K if it is a JK flip-flop, R and S if it is a RS flip-flop, or D when it is D flip-flop, or T when it is a T flip-flop is there is required. What are the inputs are required? That is state synthesis table, and then using this state synthesis table, you can prepare a Carnot map, and using a Carnot map, you can convert into the design equations. So, the logic equation or Boolean equations you can derive using Carnot map from state synthesis table, and then the final circuit diagram is developed from this design equations. So, using this design equation, the final circuit can be prepared. This is the methodology by which we can design a or we can reach to the final circuit. In read-only memory, based in read-only memory, ROM-based implementation, excitation tables are not required. However, flip-flops are used as a delay elements. So, in a ROM-based implementation, we don't use flip-flop as a circuit design, but still we utilize the flip-flop using delay elements. So, in that case, we don't require a excitation table. In this chapter, we show how this technique can be used in a sequential circuit design. You know that what is the excitation table? Excitation table is a TED table for any flip-flop when it is from output, present state of the output. What is the next state of the output you require? For Qn to Qn plus 1 transition, what are the inputs required for that? Input requirements you are generating from making a transition from the present state to the next state. That is called excitation table, and from that state synthesis table can be prepared. There are two different approach of state machine design called Murray model and Mealy models. In Murray model, circuit outputs, also called the primary outputs, are generated solely from the secondary output or memory values. So, there are two different approach of state machine design. One of them is known as the Murray model, and second one is known as a Mealy model. Both this model we are going to study here, and using both the models, one example will take and we will design a logic circuit for corresponding to that. In a Murray model, so what is a Murray model? Now you understand this thing. In a Murray model, circuit outputs, also known as the primary outputs, are generated solely from the secondary outputs or memory value. That means the next state of the output you require, that is going to be generated from the previous state of the output. We are not bothering about the input. So it is a function of only a present state of the output. Next state of the output, that is Qn plus 1, is a function of Qn only. That means present state of the output, it does not bother about inputs. That is called Moore model. In a Mealy models, present state of the output as well as input is also included to generate the next state of the output. In Mealy model, circuit inputs, also known as the primary inputs, combined with the memory elements to generate the circuit output. Both the methods are discussed in detail in this chapter. So, in Mealy model, we can say that next state of the output, that is Qn plus 1, is a function of two things now. Present state of the output, that is function of Qn as well as inputs also. So, it also includes the input to generate the next state of the output, that is known as a Mealy model. So, there are two different approach here which we are going to study here. In general, sequential logic circuit design refer to a synchronous clock triggered circuit because it is design and implementation advantage. So, sequential logic circuit design, which is also known as synchronous clock triggered circuit, because every time it is going to be triggered or it makes a transition from one state to the another state when the clock is going to be occur. That means it is a clock trigger. Every time there is a clock, state transition is going to be occurring. So it is a clock dependent, and that's why it is called a synchronous clock triggered circuit. And its design and implementation is having lot of advantage. But there is increased attention to asynchronous sequential logic circuit as its response is not limited by the clock frequency. So the things which you are not going to study in this chapter is this asynchronous sequential logic circuit, which is independent of the clock frequency. That means it is not depending upon the clock frequency only to make a transition from the present state to the next state. It is independent, it is not limited by the clock frequency. But there are too many operational constraints that makes this design asynchronous circuit very complex. But this methodology and this circuit design is little bit more complex. And that's why people are not preferring that one. Except for time critical approach application, synchronous circuit always refer, sorry, except for time critical applications, synchronous circuit always remains a preferred choice for sequential logic design. We divide this chapter into two parts. Part A presents a systematic approach toward the synchronous system design, while part B is devoted to asynchronous circuit design. So previously what I mentioned, we are going to study here part A only, which is representing the systematic approach toward the synchronous system design, and asynchronous system design that is left to the higher studies. Now, part A, design of synchronous sequential circuits. So here we are going to study that clock triggered synchronous sequential circuits. And in this one, sorry, we have seen that there are two models. So we will select the model, how the model selection is the first topic of this one. There are two distinct models by which a synchronous sequential logic circuit can be designed. In a Moore model, figure 11.1a, the output depends only on the present state and not on the input. So you understand there are two distinct models by which a synchronous sequential logic circuit can be designed. In a Moore model, the output depends only on the present state of the present state of the output and not on the inputs. So it is independent of the input. So when the output makes a transition Qn plus 1, it entirely depends upon the present state of the output, that is, it depends upon Qn only. In Mealy model, the output is derived from the present state as well as input. So in a Mealy model, output Qn plus 1 is entirely depending upon present state of the output Qn as well as the input present at that time also. So these are the two different approach. A is for the Murray model and B is for the Milli models. The primary inputs are given, because of that the next state input is going to be generated, and this is given to the inputs. Now whatever this memory value output is there, that is given to the combinational circuits and it will give you the primary output. So this primary output entirely depends upon the secondary outputs only. So this is called your Murray models. In Milli models, primary inputs are there, primary outputs are going to be generated, next state input is going to be there, and this primary output as well as next state input is given to the memory value, and that will generate the primary output. So it depends upon the present state of the output as well as the primary input that generates the primary output. So it depends upon the input as well as the present state of the output, and that's why it is called Milli model. So this way there are two approach we are going to study here. The option to include the input in output generation logic gives a certain advantage to Milli model. Now Milli model is having certain advantage over Murray model. And why that advantage is there, that you have to understand. What are that advantages there, that you have to understand here, and what is the disadvantage. The output to include input in output generations logic gives certain advantage to Milli model. So Milli model, it requires a present state as well as input to generate the next state output, and that is the reason it has certain advantage. The first advantage is this: usually it requires less number of states and thereby less hardware to solve any problem. So compared to the Murray models, whatever number of states are there, compared to that, one less state is required to generate the final output, that is desired output, and that way the circuit hardware is going to be simpler using Milli models, because one clock period earlier the output is going to be generated in Milli models compared to Murray models. We'll see in a future that in a Murray model there are 4 states is required, and because of that after 4 clock pulse only the final desired output is coming out. But here in a Milli model only there are 1 state less is required, that is only 3 state was required, and after 3 clock pulse the final output is generated for the same problem that we are going to see in a further examples. Also the output is generated 1 clock cycle earlier, that's why the output is generated faster. However, there is one important disadvantage associated with such circuit: the input transition, glitches, etc., if any, are directly conveyed to the output. Now what is the disadvantage of Milli models then? Previously we have seen all advantages. Now disadvantage is this, that output Qn plus 1 is also depending upon the input. So in input, if there is a input transition transient is there, glitches is there, unwanted signal is there, right? We have studied previously that decoding gates output which is generating glitches, etc., unwanted signal. If that is going to be present, that is already conveyed to the output also in a Milli model, but it is not going to be conveyed in a Murray model, because Murray model next state output does not depend upon the inputs. Also, if you want output transition to be synchronized while the input can change anytime, Milli model is not preferred. If you want output transition to be synchronized while input can change anytime, Milli model is not preferred. This is second disadvantage. In a Milli model, if you want to utilize that output, next state of the output, and that next state of the output is utilized or utilizing in a transition for the further circuitry, at that time you cannot change the input. If you change the input, that output is also going to be affected, and the further circuit is going to be affected. So because that output is not going to be stable if you are changing the inputs. So it is only stable if the input remains present over there in a Mealy model. So this is the disadvantage of the Mealy model. In a Murray model, it is not like that. In the Murray model, the output remains stable over entire clock period and changes only when there occurs a state change at a clock triggered based on input variable available at that time. In a Murray model, output remains stable for one complete clock period because after that next clock pulse occur, then only the state can be changed. State can be transitioned from one state to another state. Until that, Murray model output is going to be stable, and you can change the input during that time. Output is not going to be affected, and hence in a Murray model that is a advantage. Depending on applications requirement, we choose one of these two models or a mixed model. So depending upon our requirements, we can utilize either Murray model or Mealy models. Or in some of the application, we can mix both the models. Depending upon the applications requirement, we choose one of these two models or a mixed model where a part of the circuit follows Mealy model and other part follows a Murray model. We address all design related issue of synchronous sequential logic by solving a binary sequence detector problem in a step-by-step manner. So here we are going to study one problem, and that problem name is binary sequence detector. So in a binary manner, that is 1-0 forms, the sequence which is desired sequence can be obtained, and that kind of problem is known as a binary sequence detector problem in step-by-step method. We use both Murray model and Mealy model for this problem, and not the pros and cons of each approach. Not that any other design problem can be attempted in the same way. The solutions presented in subsequent section is particular to this problem, but the approach is general in nature. So we address all design related issue of the synchronous sequential logic circuit by solving this particular problem, which is called binary sequence detector problem in a step by step. That means we are going to study the methodology here. Remember, this methodology is a general, and all issue related with this methodology we are going to take step by step using the Murray model also as well as Mealy models also. And what is the advantage and disadvantage of both the methods? That the pros and cons also we are going to take it over here. And solutions presented in subsequent problem is to particular this problem only. But the system or the methodology is general in nature. Sequence detector problem is stated in next. Design a sequence detector circuit that receives a binary data stream at its input X and signals when the combination 0 1 1 arrives at the input by making its output Y high, which otherwise remains low. So what is our problems? Design a sequence detector circuit that receives a binary data stream. That means at the input of the circuit, you can consider it as a black box. Input of the circuit is input and there is the output is output. So input at the circuit, binary data is receiving. Binary data can be in the form 0 or 1. That is called X input, capital X input. That capital X can be 0 or 1. And what you require at the output? You require at the output is 0 1 1. That is in a sequence, this binary data you require, that is going to be 0 1 1. This combination of the binary data in a sequence you require. That means the first bit which is going to be arrived should be 1. That should be detected. It can be anything, 0 or 1. Second bit also can be anything, 0 or 1. But when it comes complete the sequence, that is a 1 0 1 1 arrives at the input, then and then only output of the circuit goes into the high, which indicate, which signals that the sequence is detected. That's why it is called a binary sequence detector problem, which otherwise remains low. Consider data is coming from the left. The first bit to be identified is 1. Second bit identified is again to be 1. And third bit identified is supposed to be 0 from the input sequence. Now, to make this one, from this word description that was given us word description, from that word description we'll be converting to state transition diagram in both the case Murray model as well as Mealy models. So the first step in a sequential logic synthesis problem is to convert this word description to state transition diagram or algorithm state machine chart. ASM chart is discussed previously also in a previous SY. I told you that in a flip-flop, etc., you prepare the state transition diagram. Let us see how we can arrive at state transition diagram following Murray and Mealy model. We use the problem presented in section 11.1 for this demonstration. State definition. Now, state definition for the Murray model, and then after we'll study for the Mealy models. Since the output is generated only from the state variable, let us see how many of them are necessary. So, in a state variables, that means how many states you require, that we first of all should know. That means what is the combination of the output of each flip-flop. State A will be there, state B will be there, state C will be there, state D will be there, state E will be there. So how many states are going to be there? We designated A, B, C, D, etc. But that corresponds with some binary values, remember. So this number of states which are going to be generated, how many states are required in each model, Murray model and Mealy model, that we are going to see from state transition diagram. Let the detector circuit be at the state A. So the first state, we initialize the circuit with the state A, where none of the state is detected, none of the bit of our sequence, binary sequence is detected. Or you can say that the circuit is going to be initialized. It can be randomly anywhere. In output of the flip-flop can be 1 or 0, anything. And corresponding to that, any state will be there. So none of the state is detected and it is initialized with the state. State A can also be considered as one where none of the bit is in the input sequence is properly detected, or starting point of the detection. Then if the first bit is detected properly, the circuit should be at a different state. And that means after that, if it receives the data at inputs, and from that, if the output of the data is going to be the 1, that means the first bit of our sequence, that is 0 1 1, the LSB was 1. So that is already detected. So it cannot reside into the state A. It will go from the state A to the state B, where first bit is already detected. Similarly, we need two more states, say C and D, to represent detection of second and third bit in a proper order. So after B, if it has also received the another one, that means in the sequence there is LSB is going to be 1, then towards the MSB it is receiving another one, that means 1 1. Two bits are going to be detected. So it cannot reside into the B, so it will jump to the, or it will make a transition to the next state, and that next state is designated as C. And if it is receiving now 0, so all the 3 bits are going to be detected. So it makes a transition from C to D. And we say that the sequence is already detected properly and output will go to the high state. So this way there may be a 4 state is required in a Murray model. When the detection circuit is at the state D, the output Y is asserted. That means output Y is detected and it will signal out and kept high as long as circuit remains in the stated signaling sequence detection. For other state detector, output Y is going to be low. That means in the state A, none of the state is detected. In state B, only one bit was detected. In state C, 2 bits only is detected, not all complete sequence is detected. So in state A, state B and state C, the output Y is remains low. But when it goes to state D, then all the 3 bits are properly detected, 1, 1, 0. It indicates that proper sequence is detected and it will be signaling out. That means output Y will go to the high and that way the circuit is required. So now we'll be preparing a state transition diagram related with Murray model. In a Murray model, each state and output is defined within a circle in a state transition diagram in a format S oblique Y, whereas represents a symbol or memory values identified with the state and Y represents the output of the circuit. So we have designated now the initial state is A. So every state is initiated or it is designated like small a, small b, small c and small d. The state within the circle is going to be written first, then there is oblique and what is the position of the output, what is the memory value of the output, y is going to be 0 or 1, that is going to be written afterwards. And that way this is the format S oblique y inside the circle in a state transition diagram is going to be mentioned in Murray model. So in Murray model, each state and output is defined within a circle in a state transition diagram in the format S oblique y, whereas represents a symbol or memory values identified with a state and y represents the output of the circuit. An arrow sign marks state transition following the input value of 0 or 1 that is written along the path. So when it makes a transition from one state to another state, that means from one circle to another circle, which is shown by arrow, and with the arrow, what is the input he has received? Input is going to be 0, x is going to be 0 or x is going to be 1, that is also going to be mentioned along with the arrow. So this is the format of Murray model for state transition diagram. We'll see that in a figure also. Note that x represents the binary data input from which sequence 011 is to be detected. So this is our target. Figure 11.2a shows a state transition diagram following Murray model. We arrive at it by following logic. The circuit is initialized with the state A. If input data x is going to be 1, the first bit of the sequence to be detected is considered to be detected and the circuit goes to the state V. So what it says that in figure 11.2a shows a state transition diagram following Murray model. You see that this circuit. This is a circle in a Murray model which represents the state. So prior to this backslash a which is indicating the state. So it is in initial state A and at that time none of the bit is detected, so output y is equal to 0. So inside the circle it is written S oblique y. S indicates or name the state and y value, that what is the condition of y. Y may be 0 or 1, that is represented over here. Now if it is in a state A and at the input, if it receives the binary data 1 or 0, what is going to be happen, or it remains into the same state or it will jump to the next state which is going to be shown by transition arrow. So at x is equal to 1, then from it cannot reside into the same state, so it will go to the second state where the first bit is already detected and that state is named as the B state. So here B is mentioned here, and with the arrow here x is equal to 1 is mentioned here. So when it receives x is equal to 1, it will make a transition from state A to the state B, and at that time output y is equal to 0. Now in state B, or suppose it is in state A, if it might have received x is equal to 0, that means none of the bit is detected. So it will be remains into the same state, initial state only, because none of the bit is detected. So here it is shown by this arrow, where x is equal to 0, it resided to the same state A. But if it has received x is equal to 1, it is making a transition from state A to the state B. Now from state B, again there are two possibilities. The input data x can be 0 or x can be 1. If x is going to be 1, then it will go from state B to the state C, and where two bits are going to be detected, 1 1, both the bits are going to be detected. So it has jumped from the state B to the state C. But if it is already in state B and it has received, instead of 1 it has received 0, then none of the bit is sequence is detected properly, and it will go back to the initial state, where it has to start fresh detection for the number of bits 1 1 0. That sequence has to be start again. So if it is in a state C, now there are two possibilities. X which is receiving, it can be input data can be 0 or 1. If the input data is going to be 0, then what happens? It has already detected 1 1. Now if it receives x is equal to 0, all the three bits 1 0 1 1, that means in that sequence it has received, and it will make a transition from C to D, and because all the data in sequence is detected, output y goes to the high state, and that's why here y is going to be 1. Otherwise in all other cases y is going to be 0. If it might have received x is equal to 1, then what will be the data? Output 1 1 1. That means it is a possibility that it can wait for another 0 to receive and complete its sequence detection. If at B state the circuit receives x is equal to 1, then the first two bits of the pattern is considered detected and it moves to the state C. But at state B, if it receives x is equal to 0, input sequence is going to be 0 1. Then detection has to start afresh, as we did need all the three bits of 0 1 1 to be matched. Thus the detector goes back to the initial state A. At state C, if the circuit receives x is equal to 0, then input bit stream is going to be 0 1 1, and the circuit goes to the state D and signals detection of the pattern at the state D. However, at C, if x is equal to 1, the detector is in a situation where it has received 1 1 1 in order. It stays at the C state only, so that if next arriving bit x is equal to 0, it should signal sequence detection. That means in a wait for the next input, that may be x is equal to 0, then it will complete the sequence detection. At the state D, if the circuit continues sequence detection, that means further still the input data is coming, and again it can start a new sequence to be detected, again 1 1 0. So if it receives that x is equal to 1, then it will go directly to the state B, where the first bit is detected. That ensures the detection of 0 1 1 second time in inputs 0 1 1 0 1 1 is going to be obtained. For x is equal to 0, the circuit goes to the initial state A, signaling none of the signal bit has been detected properly, and the subsequent to the previous detection. So at the state D, if it receives the B, it will go to the state B. But if it receives 0, x is equal to 0, then none of the bit in a sequence is detected. Then it will jump to the initial state A only. That is shown in the state transition diagram. Thank you very much, friends.